Okay. What is this? Part four. Okay. Um, yeah. So, like I said, I did a year of therapy, probably like the calendar year 2023. Um, and so I did the work. I whatever. I'm gonna have to think about how I how I word this. Uh, I had some tea and honey, tried to like help with my cough. It seems to have helped a little bit. I want to do this all, in one day, like one night or whatever. I got to finish this. So I think my voice, my throat my voice might start to kind of weaken, I guess. I don't know. Um, okay, so how do I say this? So yeah, I did like a year of therapy and I did the work. That's really important. That's an important part of what I'm going to talk about. But I decided to, uh, uh, well, I had looked into, let's say, alternative uh, ways of treating depression and addiction. And yeah, so how do I say this? I'm not like advocating for anything. I'm gonna try and like be vague about. Yeah. I'm not like advocating for anything. Like you would have to sort of figure out what you want to do for yourself. Um, but let's just say let's say I was walking in a forest one day, and I found something that just naturally grows in the forest, and I collected it. And I don't recommend you do that literally, and I won't necessarily recommend that you do it figuratively either. But yeah, so it's just something that just like it grows in the forest, and I took it home and I weighed it, and it was 4.5 grams. 4.5 grams for a male buck 45 soaking wet. So you have to account for if another person was going to try this, you'd have to account for your sex and your weight, and even then there is some variation in terms of sensitivity. It's like in Dune. The doctor says, "Oh, you seem to be sensitive to the spice." So yeah. So how do I have to talk about this? There's three basic things: before, during, and after. So the before part is uh, you can't just sort of do something like this and then it's just like everything's fixed. You have to do the work before, and so you have to do the work before and you have to do the work after. So it's like sort of psychedelic type people, for example, they kind of say life is the trip. So that's really true. um, the during part will be interesting to talk about though. um, yeah, so I got to the point, like, this was December of 2023. I just got to the point I was like pretty desperate, and this was what, 2 3 months after the 3 rounds of conversation that I had in like the fall, like August September or something like that. So I was pretty desperate and I was willing to like try just about anything. And so yeah, you have to do the work ahead of time, and you have to approach it in the right way. um, you're not going to get the experience that you want. You're going to get the experience that you need. I have no interest in this stuff for recreational purposes. I wanted to use it for, like therapeutic purposes or whatever the word is. So, yeah, they talk about set and setting. You can look up all of this stuff. Like the right mindset and the right setting. So, it's completely by myself for the entire day. I did it. I made sure. One of the things is, if you are struggling with, like, for example, depression or addiction, ideally you would, like, approach it like you'd be well rested, or maybe you could meditate in days leading up to it, or exercise, or whatever, do whatever to build up as much of it like a positive approach to it as you possibly can. But if you're like in a situation like I was, like I'm certain, yeah, I did get, like, of course I got drunk and high like the day before, but I just made sure like I got like a good night's sleep, and I was like hydrated and stuff. And so yeah, the day of, and I follow, there's people you can look up, you'll find stuff on YouTube or wherever, like people that can give you advice on how to do this. So like I'll refer you, well, you can find those people. Yeah, on an empty stomach, made sure I was, feeling okay physically, well hydrated, stopped drinking water maybe 2 hours before, before liftoff or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, in a fasted state, or just like no food, uh, by myself, in bed, curtains drawn, lights out. I had earplugs, the kind that expand in your ears, and then I put like ear protectors over that, and I had a blindfold as well. So yeah, I remember I had like this like little metal cup, and I had the stuff in that. And I remember, I think I believe I said I held it up, and I just said, like, I don't want to die anymore, which kind of has a double meaning, I guess. And I was just like willing to do it, and I just like wasn't. I was just like not afraid, I guess. And just like whatever happens, happens. And what they say is, if you do this, whatever happens, don't fight it. It's really, that's the most important thing. If I could tell you one thing, it's just let go. Whatever happens, don't fight it. You just kind of like, something that happens in emotion or whatever, you just kind of chew it up and swallow it and digest it and just pass it through your system. It's like with meditation, maybe like you've done that, and they say like, you have a thought, and it's kind of like a cloud in the sky. It's just there. Just let it be there, and eventually, it will pass. So you don't try and control things. So it's really important. Meditation is actually really good in preparation for this, and the breathing really helped a lot. So yeah, I did that, and then it was like 45 minutes. The first thing that I felt was I started to feel giddy, I guess is the only way I could put it. Yeah, and maybe 10 minutes after that, probably the fastest ever in my life, I went from 0 to 60, like feeling totally normal, to like throwing up in like literally less than 10 seconds, like maybe 7 seconds. I'm not sure everybody is like that, but it was just like from totally feeling normal to like 4 or 5 seconds, and my mouth was salivating just like crazy. It was like less than 10 seconds. And it just like came out. So if you do this, like you should have like a like a garbage can with like a a plastic garbage bag lined with like toilet with a paper towel or something. So like I actually went out, and I couldn't. It just came out of me before I could get to the toilet. So it went on the floor in the hallway, and so then I rinsed out my mouth, and I was thinking like maybe I won't clean it up. I'll just get back to bed or whatever, because it's starting. But then I had this thought, like, like I could see it, like in on the, and the vomit like on the floor. I was just like, I should probably clean this up. Like my cats, like what if they like lick it up or something, and then they're gonna trip balls. Yeah, I can't. That's probably not good. So like I cleaned it up, and when I was doing that, like I got very like whatever mild visuals of. Sometimes you see something in the grain of the wood, but I wasn't interested in cool visuals or pink elephants or anything. They say like if you have shit to work out, like basically sensory deprivation is what you should do, and you should be by yourself, cell phone off, no contact, no notifications or any bullshit like that. So yeah, I cleaned that up and just like I went back into the bedroom and put everything on and just like kind of was in like a cross-legged position and just trying to breathe and just like okay, here we go, like we're at liftoff now. We're gonna break the gravitational force of the Earth here. Um, yeah, it's if you've never done it, you have no idea like what it's like. It's very difficult to talk about. Um, yeah, it was like it's hard. It's apples and oranges. It's hard to compare, but like it was certainly like one of or maybe the most beautiful experience of my life. Um, so I'm trying to think like how to describe it. Well, they say, well, how do I say this? I don't know. Like I've heard people talk about like you just sort of let it sort of guide you. Like you, you're gonna get like these like messages or whatever. Um, Sorry about that. I just had to think about sort of how I wanted to say this. So yeah, I said you're gonna get these messages. People say you're gonna get these messages. Yeah. So like basically, the way I can describe what it's like, it was a fevered dream. Um, like it was like probably they say it lasts like 5 6 hours, but like the fevered dream it was like maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So for that period of time, I swear, like I wasn't like I was like 2 or 3 galaxies over from this one, and you don't really. And some people, they might do 7 or 8 grams. So, uh, like you, it's like a dream. Apparently, the brain behaves a lot like it does when it's dreaming. It was a fevered dream. Um, when I was in the middle of that fevered dream, uh, you know, I it almost seemed like I was communicating with something. Now, I think that the actual explanation for what was going on, the most logical or likely explanation for what that was, is in fact, I think, the most mystical. People talk about like you do it and then you just let it, sort of guide you and teach you and stuff. I think that like if you do this, um, what you will experience is you. So I think that uh, like I say, uh, it felt like I was communicating with something. Like I didn't literally have auditory hallucinations. I didn't have whatever like physical hallucinations, but it was like there was something that was communicating with me. And what I think is, I think that there's there's a part of you that can't be touched. I think that there's a part of you, it doesn't forget, and it doesn't believe a lot of the bullshit that you're told or the things that you tell yourself. Um, it's, I don't know, like religious people would say it's like your soul or something. So I think that's what it was. I think that like when if you do this, what you will experience is you. And of course, that could be the thing that people are most afraid of. It can be daunting as opposed to fighting an opponent or whatever people do. Yeah. So the the sort of message, like one of the things that I got is it just sort of whatever it said, it's not you. And okay.